There's been talks recently that Regis Prograis is going to fight Tank Davis. And it's a fight that's an interesting fight. It's a fight that I would love to see, but I'm a little bit confused because I heard that Regis Prograis was going to fight Mikey Garcia, but Mikey Garcia has recently had a fight with Sandor Martin, who actually beat him. So I'm a little bit confused how this fight has actually come about. Maybe Mikey Garcia or Regis Prograis had to drop out because of an injury. But I think it's a very interesting fight between Regis Prograis and Tank Davis. I might slightly edge towards Regis Prograis actually beating Tank Davis because he's a very good fighter in his own right, and on top of that, he's only lost to one person, who's Josh Taylor, who in my opinion is one of the best pound for pound fighters in the world. Definitely one of the best pound for pound fighters in the UK, bar none. And the fact is that I actually think that Regis Prograis has a very good chance of beating Tank Davis. Now, the reason why I think that is because I think he's bigger than him, and he's lengthier, and he's got more length, and on top of that he does have skills himself. And I think it's an interesting fight, but I don't know if that fight will ever be made. I feel like the way Tank Davis's career is managed, it's managed very similar to how Mayweather managed his career, which is low risk, high reward. And I don't know if they'll take a fight against Regis Prograis because regardless of what you think about Regis Prograis, he is somewhat of a low risk, high risk, low reward type fighter, because of the fact that despite the fact that he's a two-time champion and he was on a final of the WBSS series, a lot of fans don't really give him a lot of credit. They don't really look at him as he doesn't have the mainstream appeal of a Tank Davis or a Lomachenko or one of them fighters. He just doesn't. Even though he is a great fighter in his own right, for some reason he just doesn't have that mainstream appeal. The most exposure that he ever got was in WBSS series, and despite the fight being a very close fight, he did lose that fight. So from that perspective, it just seems like it's implausible that a fight between Tank Davis and Regis Prograis would ever happen. But in my opinion, I think it's an interesting fight. I think it's a fight that both fighters, I would love to see it if it was to happen. Tank Davis is obviously, I'm slightly edging towards Regis Prograis actually beating Tank Davis, but don't get it twisted, because of his punching power and his speed, and obviously his talent as well as a fighter. I think Tank Davis is definitely a live dog in that fight. I just slightly edge it towards Regis Prograis because of his size and his skills, and on top of that, I feel like he's more willing to test himself and put himself out there and fight high level opposition. So yeah, just from that perspective, I just think Regis Prograis has what it takes to beat him, and he seems like he's really game for the fight as well. Like, it's a fight that he would love to see. So just from that perspective, I just think Tank Davis would have his hands full with him. But don't get it twisted, it'll be a close nip and tuck affair. It'll be a very close fight between the two of them. But I think I'll slightly edge it towards Regis Prograis actually beating him because of his size, like I mentioned before. So yeah, that's just my opinion on this fight. If it was to happen, I think it's unlikely to happen because of the points that I've mentioned before. But if it was to happen, I think it's an interesting fight. It's a fight that could definitely draw a bit of fan interest from the hardcore fans. But whether the fight happens or not is another question entirely. So yeah, tell me your opinions of this fight. What do you think about this fight? Do you think it's a fight that can happen? Do you think it's a fight that's unlikely to happen? What's the likelihood do you think that this fight actually happens? I think it's very unlikely to happen. But I feel like they're chirping at each other and they're talking about fighting each other. So yeah, interesting fight, but I think it's unlikely to happen. Tell me your thoughts below, and like and subscribe to the channel. I've got a lot more content coming your way. Peace out.